Hello, gorgeous, and thank you so much for being here. We are about to create your divine future in 2020. So, first things first, you need to know what you want. Clarity is key. The universe loves clarity. Your unconscious mind loves clarity. And I know you have an unconscious mind, you have a conscious mind. That's the logic mind, the analytical mind, the ego mind, the one that comes up with all of the amazing ideas of the things that you want to create. And then your unconscious mind is the one that stores all of your memories and your emotions and organizes all of your emotions and suppresses emotions, brings them back up for resolution, and so much more. It preserves the body, runs the body. The unconscious mind is amazing and has so many roles and responsibilities. Uh, and quite often we disconnect from our unconscious mind. We don't want to connect with it because we think it hurts, we think it's painful. But it's so powerful. You are so powerful. Your unconscious mind is like the 5-year-old self. It's like the 5-year-old version of yourself. And like a little child, it it wants to serve you. Its job actually is of service, is to serve you, is to support you to get what it is that you say you want. And it will do whatever it can to have that be created for you as quickly as possible. And just like a 5-year-old child, you have to be very clear and specific and simple in the instructions so that it can do what you're asking it to do. So clarity is the first piece, is so key. And then simplicity in that as well. So there's no misunderstanding or miscommunication, and your unconscious mind just knows exactly what to do to bring you what it is that you want. Many people don't know what they want. Hopefully, you know what it is that you want today, and you know what you want to create in the next month, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months to make this the most phenomenal year you've ever experienced. Your year is time. It's been beyond time. So the first thing is you need to have a very clear goal that we want to work with today. And you can replay this and you can put as many goals as you desire into your timeline the way that we've done this. You can replay it and do it over and over for different goals. Once you've done it once, you don't need to redo it for that particular goal. So the best way to have a goal clearly written is to make sure that it's smart. And I'm sure you would have heard about this. So it's specific, it's measurable, achievable, realistic, time based. And with that, there's some other beautiful pieces that I can add on to it. And I've mentioned some of them already, that it's just simply written, simply formed, that it's meaningful to you. It needs to be your goal. It needs to be something you want, not something you think you should have or you think other people want you to have. It's your goal. It's meaningful to you. It needs to be written in the sense of having it now. We say act as if. And so the beautiful way I usually recommend to structure how it's written is um, in a way that it's that you've got it now, because your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not real. It doesn't have an idea of time. That's a construct. That's an illusion that we live in and we've created. And so we write it in the sense of having it now. I'll come back to this. On top of that, I want to add on that it's towards what you want. It has to be written in the positive, not I don't want whatever, but I am, I have, I do, I be. And it's towards what it is that you want. Okay. Not away from. So hopefully right now you can just write down your goal, considering all those aspects in this structure. It is now. And you write the date, whatever the date is that you want to have achieved the goal. So it is, and then the date. And if that date is 30 days from now, then you just write that date. If it's 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, 360 days, however many days it is from today, then you write that date. It is now, and then that date. Remember, we're writing it as in having it now. So it is now, whatever the future date is that you want to have this goal by. And then, and I have, or I am, or I be, or I, whatever it is that you want. Very simply and precise. Very, very clear. And in the sense of, obviously, towards what you want, the positive. So for an example, if it's a money goal, it is now specific date, and I consistently earn $30,000 per month. Okay, so it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, depending obviously on your situation, only you know that, but it is very simply laid out, and that is the beautiful structure for you to have your goal clearly, simply, and ready to actually put into your timeline. So that's what we're going to do first. If you need to pause this to get your goal written as the way that I've said, then do that. Go ahead. Then, press play again when you're ready. And we're going to start firstly with putting the goal into the future. And then secondly, after that, we're going to do a most powerful activation, which blows my mind, blows all of my clients' minds, all my students, everyone that I train have achieved phenomenal results with this activation. And as I said, it's something you can always come back to anytime you have a new goal, and you need to light it up and activate it. And remember this one thing. I always ask people to check in with their goal. Try it on. How does it feel? When you set a goal, does it light you up? Does it bring fear? Does it bring any emotions that are not going to serve you? Does it bring limiting beliefs, doubts? Because if it does, then those are things you need to get to work on. Because it's not setting goals. That's the problem. It's not that, people say I set these goals and I never get it, so I just don't want to set those goals anymore. It is actually nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is your past. The only reason why you haven't achieved what it is that you say you want, you haven't manifested what it is that you desire, is because of your past. You keep recreating your past in your future. You have beliefs and emotions from the past that are unresolved, and you're trying to go out into the future without, having those things resolved to create new things, and it's not working for you. The only thing that gets in the way of you achieving your goals are your emotions that are unresolved, and your limiting beliefs and your doubts, limiting decisions that are causing you to not achieve it. That's it. And so it's getting really clear on those things if they are present. It's not this process, it's not this technique that didn't work. It is just the stuff that is lying perhaps dormant, lying like a undercurrent that you can't see. So you want to do a lot of inquiry into what comes up for you around your goal, and work with a coach, or do a lot of work on yourself, work with healers, whatever it is that works for you, to be able to release, let go of the things that are no longer serving you. And remember, if you don't achieve your goal, it's always just feedback, and that feedback is to say, like, right, so what was unresolved? What was it actually that caused me to not achieve the goal? And using that as beautiful feedback to do the work, to go back, do that cleanup work, and then reset your goals and go after it. Great. So you should have your goal ready. Now let's put it into the future. I want you to imagine your future in some direction in relationship to your body. So if you think of an event out in the future, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, as you think of that event, what direction would you point to in relationship to your body? Some people will say out in front, some people to the right or the left, or some people up, or some out to the front diagonally, or whatever. Like, what direction does it point? Hopefully, you've got that in your mind, because what we're going to do is, as we see that line in whatever direction it was for you is perfect and beautiful, we're actually going to float above the line. Now, if it's going above you, it's more like you're kind of going to be floating up in, like, getting in an elevator and floating up alongside your timeline out in the future, and that's just perfect. But you're just going to be floating above it, and you're going either up or you're going straight out along it, whether that be forward or diagonally or out to the side or whatever direction it is, out in the front. And you're going to be out, like, kind of outside of, you're in your body, but you're looking down on all of the events in your life in the future. You're just going to be looking down from your own eyes down to your timeline. And you'll be able to look down. If you were to float up above your timeline now, only do this if you're sitting comfortably somewhere. Either close your eyes, be seated, lie down, whatever feels comfortable if you can. And just try this now. Just try floating up above your timeline, up above now, this moment, float right up above and look down and see yourself sitting where you are or laying where you are. And that's all we're going to do. It's just a dissociated position. Good. And then just come back down, come into your body, and just come back down into this moment and back into the room. And I'm going to set some things up before we go and do that again. Hopefully that was fun. Wait till we start to float out to the future. That's even more fun. Great. So I want you to think about your goal and the goal that you set. And I want you to consider, what is the last step? This is the game changer for this, how we actually create our goals and how effective this process is because we think about what the last step is. So what is the last step when you know that you've got your goal? For an example, if it was a money goal, you know that you've got it when you perhaps look at your computer and you see your sales report, or it could be that you look at your phone and you see the money in your bank account, right? It's like the last step so that you know you've got that goal. Whatever your goal is, what is the last step for you to know that you've got your goal? Once you've got it, amazing. Again, at any time through this, if you need to pause the audio, then go ahead and do that, and then just press play again. And so I want you to as you think about that last step, do you have a picture? And I want you to bring that picture up of that last step, the picture that you see of that last step. Bring it up, kind of like you're bringing it up on a screen, or however it is that you bring it up is perfect. Now I want you to make sure you're in your body, looking through your own eyes in this picture. And we're going to actually amplify this picture. So I want to get you to play around with what we call the submodalities. They're the qualities of the picture. Is the color black and white, or is it color? If it's color, make it black and white. Or if it's black and white, make it color. How does it feel? Which one feels better? And then leave it with whichever feels the most real for you. What about the size of the picture? Is it the size of a TV screen? What if you made it big, like the size of IMAX theater? If you make it really, really big, does that feel more real for you, or is it too overwhelming? Or what if you shrunk it down really small, like the size of a postage stamp, super small? How does that feel? Does that take the feeling right away? And then just take it right back to wherever it felt the most intense for you. Then the location, change the location of the picture. If it's right out in front of you, or if it's up to the side, diagonally up, or if it's down low, wherever it is, like move the location of that picture around. Change the location of where that picture is. And wherever it feels the most real and the most intense for you, look at there. And then even the closeness, if it was far away, bring it really close, like right in front of your eyes. Does it feel more intense really close to you, or is it more intense like in the middle or further away? And then move it around in terms of the distance. And again, lock it in right where it feels the most real and most intense. What about any sounds? Are there any sounds that are important? If there's no sounds, what if you were to bring in sounds, either your own voice or someone else's voice? And if it's like a surround sound, or does that feel more real for you? Does it feel more intense? The kinesthetic feeling, does it ramp up? Does it amplify the feeling for you? Or is it better with just silence? Whatever it is, just bring that in or leave that out, whatever it is you need to do. And then what about the pitch? What about the volume of the sounds? If there's sounds, if you made it really, really loud or high pitched, or you turned it really down, really even to like a soft whisper, does that feel more real for you? Wherever it feels more real, lock it in right there. And then what about the feeling? What's the location of the feeling in your body? Is there a feeling? If there's no feeling, bring in a feeling. What is that feeling? And where's the location of the feeling? Move the location around. If it was in your head, bring it down to your heart. Or if it's in your heart, bring it to your belly, or spread it out throughout your whole body. Does that feel more real for you? More kinesthetic, more real? Good. And then wherever it feels the most real in the location of that feeling, just look it right in there. And what about the size of that feeling? What if you increase the size of the feeling? Increase it, increase the size, or decrease it, make it like really, really precise, like a laser point, like a pinpoint, super, super laser focus, like really intense, like small point. Does that feel more real, or is it more intensified and more feeling, more kinesthetic when it's bigger? Wherever it is, lock it into place, lock it right there. Got it? Good. Now, what I want you to do is step outside that picture. So leave your body in the picture and you step outside of the picture. And then I want you to take that picture and I want you to float up above now, above the timeline. Good. So just floating up with that internal representation, that picture, you stepped outside of it and you leave your body in the picture and you're floated up above now. We're going to take 4 deep breaths together. We're going to intensify. We're going to bring that picture to life. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Pursed lips, exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. All of your energy into that picture. Breathe out. Good again. You're bringing everything you've got in. And then everything into that picture. One more time. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Fantastic. Now, I want you to take that picture and float out along your timeline, out into the future, into that direction where your timeline was, whatever direction it was. Float all the way out into the future to the date that you had set that you would achieve this goal. Just float all the way out to that date, whatever month, whatever day, and whatever year that is. Make sure you have the date, the month, and the year of that goal. And float out to that date in your timeline. Good. And when you're there, just let that internal representation slot down and drop it right down into your timeline. Just see it drop into place. Boom. It just locks right in there into the timeline. I want you to notice. You may be able to notice if you turn and look towards now, notice all of the events, everything occurring, everything reevaluating itself to support you of your new goal. And I call this reevaluation to your attention. And then you know the sound Tupperware makes when you seal it, and then you just seal it into place. Just lock that picture right there into your timeline. And then when you're ready, just float all the way back to now and come back into now and back into the room where you are. Good. And welcome back. How was that? Such a good feeling, right? Powerful process. That's just part one of the process. Now we get to have a little bit more fun together. Are you ready for this powerful activation and induction? Say yeah. Hell yeah. Good. Before we kick it off, this is also kind of part of it, but I'm just going to set a few things up. What we're going to do is going to get you to really connect with people and events that will support you of that goal that you've just put into the timeline. Firstly, what we want to do is we want to pick up some resources from the past. Can you remember a time when you were a kid, perhaps, when you learned something just easily and eloquently and just effortlessly? Someone showed you how to do something once, like it might have been hopscotch or skipping or how to roll a dice, like something super, super simple. And you saw it and you knew how to do it just by seeing it once and you just did it. And I want you actually to now imagine, just like we imagined the direction of our future, just imagine the direction of your past. It might be in the opposite direction of your future. It might be in a different direction, whichever way it is. Think of an event in your past, a month ago, a year ago, many years ago, however many, and just think as you think about that event in your past, in relationship to your body, which direction is that memory stored? Could be behind you or down or to the right or to the left or in some direction in relationship to your body. Now I want you to imagine that you just float back into the past to that time in that event where you learned that thing for the first time easily and effortlessly. And I want you to float all the way back to that event, however, at whatever age you were, and just float right down into that age and into the event, into your body. And firstly, notice the feeling of being an effortless learner. You might even say, I didn't even know that I could learn things that easily and that effortlessly. But your unconscious mind was able to process the information, was able to just take it in immediately and just do it straight away. That's how it just does it for you. It's there to support you, right, and serve you. Your unconscious mind organized everything for you, everything you felt, heard, and saw, and just organized it for you in a way that was easy for you to understand, easy for you to recall, and you just knew that you'd learned it. And ask your unconscious mind just to get in touch with that process and that feeling and add to that you are an exquisite learner and you know how good it feels and it is to know that. It just feels so good to know that you're an exquisite learner and you learn things easily. You're actually a learning machine. And I want you to now bring all of that feeling and that knowing that you are an exquisite learner and all of the process of being able to learn something so easily and effortlessly, and just bring all of that learning back to now. The feeling and the process, just bring it all back to now. Amazing. Good job. Awesome. So now let's begin the activation. And I want you to now imagine yourself floating up above your timeline again. And you're going to go all the way out to the future and go all the way out to the future end of your timeline, the very end of your timeline, the future end. Look and find it now and notice the light. The light is the infinite source of energy, creativity, and intelligence inside of you. It's the source of you, the essence of your being. See the light. See it shining so, so bright. And as you do, or even as you don't, just imagine the light. and go forward from the future end of your timeline and go right into the light. Go forward from the future end of your timeline and go right into the light. As you do, allow your entire body to disappear into the light. You don't need it. You are rich. Every inch of your body disappears into the light. Every cell, every molecule, every atom, even the spaces between the atoms and the quantum particles become filled with infinite light. Your body disappears into the light and you become one with the light. And as you do, remember this one thing. You are the light, and the light is you. Good. Now, as quickly as possible, and allow the light to begin to expand from where it is outward and have it fill up the entire place that you are sitting in right now. The room, the space that you're in, have it fill up that space right now and have it expand out beyond there to the other rooms, to the other spaces right next to you in your environment. And then have it expand out to the entire suburb that you are in. Have it expand out to the entire city, have it expand out to the entire state, the country, and the continent. It totally, all of it, disappears into the light. Now even expand it out to the other continents. Asia, Europe, America, North America, Africa, Hawaii, and then the entire planet. And remember, you are the light, and the light is you. Good. Now, as quickly as you can, have the light expand beyond the size of the earth to the size of the solar system, beyond to the other solar systems, and then to the entire galaxy, beyond the galaxy, and even further than that. And with the light, which is you and is infinite, the light inside of you merges with the infinite size of the universe. Remember this one thing: you are the light, and the light is you. Now, allow the thinnest shield of your body to reform like a shell is forming, the thinnest shell, and the light remaining infinite inside of you. Notice the entire light of the universe is contained inside of you, and your body has become hollow and filled with infinite space to accommodate the light. As the infinite light inside of you is enclosed by the thinnest shell, dissolve all of the impurities, and anything that wasn't pure dissolves into the light. Now, I would like you to come back from the future end of your timeline. And what I want you to do is to begin right now, because there are people who you know and people who you don't know who will assist you in accomplishing the goal that you've just put into your timeline in a win-win situation. So I want you to have your unconscious mind imagine the infinite light remaining infinite inside of you, streaming out from the point between your eyebrows. Let the light stream out from that space and make connections with people who will assist you in accomplishing your goal. People you know, people you don't know yet. Just allow your unconscious mind to assist you. People who will assist you in accomplishing your goals. To make those connections for a win-win. People who you will feel aligned with. Feel it streaming, that light is streaming between your eyes. And let them be enthused by your enthusiasm. Let them be energized by your energy. And let them be enlightened by your light. Make those connections easily and effortlessly. Whatever connections need to be made at the unconscious level, make them. Make those connections now. Imagine hundreds of them, thousands of them, connecting with everyone you know and everyone you don't know who will assist you in accomplishing this goal. Just go ahead and make those connections. Whatever connections need to be made, just go ahead. Make them now and allow your unconscious mind to just do that for you. Just make those connections for a win-win. Great. Now, as you begin to float back from the future end of your timeline, bring back all of those connections with you. Bring them all back with you. Now, as you're facing your past, just make sure you're facing the past and just imagine in your mind's eye, you're holding out your hands and allow the infinite light to remain infinite inside of you. Let the infinite light flow out of your hands and let it fill up the future end of your timeline. Allow the light to flow into the timeline. And as you do, notice the timeline become brighter and brighter and even brighter than that. Make it so, so bright. It becomes so bright that it lights up your entire future. And as it does, allow the wave of light, the brightness that comes from your future, that it reverberates back to now. And as the light of the future comes into the now, notice it touches your body. And the infinite light in you and the infinite light in your future become one. And they merge as one, as a whole, bringing infinite possibilities into the now. And as you do, remember this one thing: you are the light, and the light is you. Good. Now begin to come back to now from the future end of your timeline. And as you come back, allow each and every event, whatever events are present, each and every one of them in your future timeline, notice all of the connections that you noticed are streaming into your timeline, because of course you will connect with those people in time. So notice whatever connections you've made and the beautiful light that exists throughout your timeline. As you come back towards now, bringing all of that light and all of those connections with you. Just come all the way back to now. Just come all the way back to now. That's right. come all the way back to now. And when you come back to now, just go ahead and float down into your body and back into now, and come back into the room. And you may notice that you may be seeing the room and things around you a little differently, in a different light. You even look different, right? And you're actually seeing things differently now, aren't you? That's right. Ah, wow. Feels great, right? You can't not feel lit up and amazing after that. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being willing to go after what it is that you want. I know it takes courage, and you're taking the steps. Keep going. You've got this. Now, all you need to do is let go of the form, let go of how. It's not always easy, right? You have to trust fully and obviously take action. You put yourself out there, get uncomfortable every single day, be willing to do the work, and everything you desire will be yours. Thank you again. Please share this. If this has been helpful for you, I'd love you to share it with others. Whatever your experience is, I would love to hear it. I would just love to hear how this has been for you. Please share and comment and do all the things that let me know that this has helped you and made a difference for you. And when you see the results, also shoot me a message and let me know, because this is the most rewarding thing that I can receive back from contributing to you now. I love you. Love and light. And remember, a wildly free life is waiting for you.